means additional failure in drought years. So pest attack and drought failure is leading to very frequent levels of failure. In the US now, there's 5.4 million acres infested with superweeds, which has become a major, major problem. You can't control these weeds. In 1986, Richard Feynman, a Nobel laureate in physics, had said, and it's been quoted in today's Herald Tribune in the context of the Gulf of the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. He had said, for a successful technology, reality must take precedence over public relations, for nature cannot be fooled. Unfortunately, in the case of Monsanto, it's all public relations. And they have substituted science with public relations. And this has huge consequences for the future of humanity. Because if the very knowledge base on which we stand is compromised by public relations, we don't know what's happening. If we are told there's a 4-fold increase in food production, and in reality, all studies are showing there's a lowering of yield because of genetic engineering through what is called the yield drag, then we'll be having famine, but the public relations will show abundance. If the ads show Bt is a successful pest control agent, and meantime pests are destroying crops, farmers will be having an economic distress, but the public relations will be doing very well. Of course, in the case of the Bt cotton, Monsanto has had to admit that its Bt cotton has evolved, the bollworm which it was supposed to control has evolved resistance. Now, normally they don't admit this. They're admitting it only because now they want to sell what is called Bolgard 2, with 2 stacks of the same toxic. Einstein had once said, insanity is to keep doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. And Monsanto uses 2 toxic genes to think it'll have a different outcome than 1 toxic gene. And not only that, their big seed for this year, what they want to market in the US, is something called an octostack. 8 genes stacked, 6 of them for producing pesticide and poison, 2 of them for herbicide resistance. So in fact, we need to review these promises of Monsanto on the basis of the performance, following what scientists like Feynman are saying. Look at the performance. On the performance at the level of yield, pest control, and weed control, on every level, Monsanto is failing. And it would be crazy for Norway to be putting its money into a failing technology. But there's another reason why I believe Norway is on the wrong side of things if it maintains this investment in Monsanto. Monsanto basically is what I would call a seed pirate. Its main profits don't come out of generating new technology. Just putting 2 toxic genes is not innovation. Its main profits come out of patenting and royalty collection. And the royalty collections, just in the case of Bt, cotton in India, in the last 4 or 5 years, they've harvested 264 million euro in royalty. 264 million, that's 2/3 of the entire investment that Norway is making. Now, this is 1 crop and 1 country. Put all the soya acreage of Argentina and Brazil and the United States, all the corn acreage of the US, put all these additional acreages. We are talking about billions of dollars of royalty collection. And this royalty collection is now becoming genocidal. Monsanto collects 5 million upfront for technology fees from seed companies it controls through license arrangements. In the case of India, 28 companies are directly licensing with them. It has bought up large shares in the biggest Indian seed company, and also in addition has a Monsanto-Mahiko joint venture. In addition to the 5 million, they also collect part of the royalty on every package of seed sold. In India, the cotton seed used to be sold for 7 rupees a kilo before Monsanto came in. They took the price up to 1,700 rupees for 450 grams. So, double it. It's already controlling 90% of the seed market in India in cotton. And because it's constantly increasing its royalty fee, of the 1,800 for the 450-gram packet that it was selling, 1,200 was its royalty fee. Just imagine the percentage. And every year, it's increasing this royalty fee. So the government, especially the government of a state called Andhra Pradesh, filed a case. Our foundation joined that case in our antitrust court, which is called the Monopoly and Trade Restriction Commission. The court, it also went to the Supreme Court of India, and the court in the MRTP ruled that Monsanto cannot charge the high prices they are charging. So their prices were slashed. They're now demanding that they have the right to charge what they want, and they're suing governments in India right now that we can charge what we want and governments have no right to intervene. And this issue is not just a concern in countries like India. It has become a concern in Monsanto's own home country. There's right now an antitrust case against Monsanto filed by the second biggest seed company called DuPont, saying they're absolutely shutting down any option for farmers and any option for breeding. And as the report that has come out of these investigations in Associated Press says, at issue is how much power one company can have over seeds, the foundation of the world's food supply. Without stiff competition, Monsanto could raise its seed prices at will, which in turn could raise the cost of everything from animal feed to wheat bread and cookies. Now, in the case of India, this limitless charging of royalty fees has led to this huge increase in seed prices and a shift from farmers having renewable seed, which they can save every year, to having to buy the seed every year. In addition, contrary to what Monsanto said in terms of saving pesticide expenditure, as I mentioned, farmers are spending 13 times more. The vulnerability of the seed is high, so the crop failure is very high. The combination of all of this has meant that the farmers are getting deeply indebted. And the indebted farmers are now starting to commit suicides. The official records of India show 200,000 farm suicides since Monsanto started entered the seed market. The 4 states in which these suicides are highest are Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Punjab. These are also the states where the cotton has been taken over. The cotton supply has been taken over by Monsanto. And if you do a map on the suicides per district and the BT cotton sales per district, you have a 1-to-1 correlation. Now, Monsanto, of course, used IFPRI in Washington to put out a study that we've looked at a 10-year period and there's no real difference, and the regions where this is happening have good schools and they have good roads. Well, the cotton areas were the prosperous areas of India. Cotton was a